Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Fridays with Frankie on the Frankie and Ding Dong Show. As always, I am your host, Frankie Avalon, here with my best friend and co-creator of the Frankie and Ding Dong Show, King Ding Dong.
How you doing tonight, Frankie?
I'm doing great. You know, I got my Milwaukee Pounders shirt on. You know, they didn't win it, but, you know, the boys had a good showing. They made a little run on the ladder. We're going to get into all of the PBA League stuff here in just a few minutes. But first, we have a very special guest who is going to cover the PBA League recap with us right out of the gate. None only than the super fan of the PBA.
Yeah, the PBA super fan.
The man, the myth, the legend, Adam Lemarese. Adam, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing good, guys. It seems like I was just talking with you guys on Wednesday, and this is a pretty cool experience being on with the Frankie and Ding Dong Show. We've known each other for a long time, so thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on. And are you sure it was you, or are you sure it was the bowling pin that we were talking to?
Yeah, I'm getting that. I can say I got a huge actually the bowling pin costume I wore was actually a Halloween costume I wore at work last year because everybody knew I love bowling, so I found it online. So obviously, when in Portland.
Yeah, love that bowling pin.
That was awesome. Yeah,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you look really great in the crowd there, Adam. And of course, you know, cheering the whole time, you know, is one thing about being a bowling super fan. You know, so how long have you been coming up to Portland now? Is this this was certainly not your first time?
It was my fifth time. I started coming in 2018. So obviously I wasn't there in 2020 because of the pandemic, but I was there in 2021 when the PBA announced that fans would be coming back for the King Lanes and the Queen Lanes Empress Edition. So I was like, obviously I had to. It's like my second home. It's like I used to live in New Hampshire before I moved to North Carolina. So it's like I'm coming back home. And the one thing I do miss about New England, obviously, is the seafood. So I ate my fair share of lobster when I was in Maine. So
yeah, right on, brother. Hey, you can't get enough seafood when you're up here. It's the best place for it, that's for sure.
Especially at the High Roller Lobster Company on Exchange Street and DeMillo's on the water in downtown Portland. So those are two of my favorite spots, you know, to get lobster.
Absolutely. Next time you're up here, check out Luke's Lobster in the Porthole for some more good food.
Thank you. I will.
Yeah.
I sure will.
And shout out to High Roller Lobster Company.
High Roller Lobster Company.
Yeah. I mean, what they did with the Las Vegas High Rollers, I thought that was super cool. Actually, when me and my friends were having lunch there, one day, we saw everyone there. I was like, you know, I think next year, wouldn't you guys agree that the Las Vegas High Roller should be sponsored by the High Roller Lobster Company?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's a match made in heaven, right? I mean, you can't get better than that. Yeah. So, Adam, we got some comments coming in. David Bray checking in on our YouTube channel. Love seeing you guys on TV.
Thank you.
Yep, Lynn Collins, who we met her and her husband Dan up here. Super nice people.
Great.
Nice meeting you in Portland. We are driving home to Florida, currently in North Carolina right now. Down in your neck of the
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching tonight. I appreciate it.
All right, so we love people checking. Del Picard says, "What's up, studs?"
Hi.
Del, we'll see you.
So, Adam, let's you know, you have your own podcast on YouTube, right? Is it through Herb FM Sports Radio?
Herb FM Sports Radio, yeah. It's called Sports Talk with Chris Heidel. It's myself and Chris Heidel, who is outside of Baltimore, and Matt Trichinelli. We talk to people from all forms of sports, so whether it be football or baseball or basketball, even college sports. We love talking to college football coaches and players during this season, and we all love bowling. So among the people that we've had on our show are E.J. Tackett, Anthony Simonson, Walter Williams Jr., Chris Barnes, A.J. Johnson, we've had Mike Albee on. We've had a lot of others that we grew up watching, and actually we actually did a special PBA league preview where we had the commissioner Tom Clark, we had Andrew Kane on, we had Mark Baker, we had Marshall Holman. So yeah, I mean, if you would have told me 20 years ago, I would be talking to people I grew up watching as a kid living in New Hampshire, I would have said you would laugh me off the face of the earth. I mean, I'm like a little kid again, guys. It's like I'm living a dream. It's like
Awesome.
Yeah, that's great. And
So-
I heard that you even had Parker Bone on even this
I
evening.
did. Me and my friend Chris, we actually had we did a phone interview with Parker Bone the third, talking about recapping the PBA league. So that'll be on sometime soon. So yeah, I think I got a lot of attention with my bowling pin costume. So I think I'll bring it up there to Portland next year.
Absolutely. We love seeing you in it. So let's dive right into the PBA League. I mean, it was really interesting this year. There wasn't individual qualifying. It was all Baker team qualifying.
10 games.
10 games of Baker team qualifying. And so basically each bowler basically got 20 frames, to bowl. It's basically only 2 full games to bowl a piece, which isn't a lot of qualifying. So you had to make some really good shots. And I mean, the Lumberjacks did a great job of qualifying and getting the top seed. And it was the Strikers that had the second seed. Is that correct?
Yes, it was. It was the Dallas Strikers. I mean,
so obviously, it was hard to come through that ladder. The bottom 5 teams had to compete in the ladder. Basically, one team came out of that to bowl against the rest in the field, and the Waco Wonders, who took down the Pounders in the third match. They basically just ran the table from there. They bowled phenomenally, and I think they shot what they shoot 770 or 7 Snickers bar, perfect. Shot like 771 for their final 3 for their last 3 games. I mean, that is unbelievable.
Crazy good. Yeah, and another note on qualifying. You talk about 10 games of Baker. Now they're going across the east side of our center,
all the way through.
And so you basically get 1 shot per lane.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely this year left a lot of room for chance in there, and a lot of room to move around, and who would have thought that, with all the firepower that was out there, again, the Lumberjacks would come out ranked number 1 going into after qualifying. I wouldn't have thought it. We didn't think of it here at this show, just because there was so much movement this year. There was so many strong teams, but it just goes to show you how good Portland is in that building and how resilient they are. You give them 1 frame per lane and they're going to go across the building and still dominate,
Adam, what did you think of qualifying? How did you like the format this year compared to previous years?
For me, I kind of like the individual qualifying myself. I mean, but I will say, the Baker qualifying was really unique. Especially you take a look at where the Waco Wonders ended up. They ended up 7th, and it was like after qualifying, I was like, okay, well, this team has a lot of good talent. You have Ryan Simonelli, you had Frank Snodgrass making his debut, you had Parker Bone the third, you had DJ Moore. I mean, I was like,
Sterner.
I mean, so many good players.
And Jason Sterner, I mean, it's like, and we all know how good Jason is at Bayside. I mean, I was like,
for sure.
I mean, when I saw the Lumberjacks as the number 1 seed, I was like, oh boy, I truly thought that, okay, with Tim Mack and Kyle Troop, Arturo Conchero, who actually bowls at Bayside, I'm thinking, can anybody take down the Lumberjacks? I mean, it's like they feed off that atmosphere. It's like when we all know anything can happen in sports, and we sure found out on Wednesday.
Yeah, we did. And, I think it can work for and against you. I think a bowler like Arturo feeds off the crowd, and it actually makes him perform better. I want to say watching like Chris Prather bowl, who's a phenomenal bowler, it almost felt like it was so much pressure because of, going for the 4-peat, going for stuff like that. I mean, it looked like you could tell he just never settled in and never looked comfortable the whole time he bowled, which is not like Chris. I mean, Chris has won huge, big tournaments, $100,000
in that building.
In that building.
Yeah.
So he just, and you talk about people getting comfortable. How about Ryan Simonelli, his performance?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the whole ice in the veins thing was 100% accurate. I mean, he never gave away the pocket the entire time. And just threw great shot after great shot when they needed it. And that's and a great setup man in Parker. I mean, you couldn't have a better setup man than the legend himself, Parker Bone III. So,
and how good was BJ Moore?
BJ Moore.
Oh yeah, how good.
But here's the thing, and I know it was in a losing effort, but nobody, and I mean nobody in that tournament was better than Grant Fobb.
No,
10 for 10 on TV. Never.
That's incredible.
Struck.
That guy is good.
I mean, having Graham throwing 10 out of 10 with 10 strikes, it's like you never see that. And it's like I was shocked. I mean, you take a look at the aura pattern. It's the Mark Roth pattern. Everybody knows it on the PBA tour, and it's like and you take a look at the Snickers Wake of Wonder. They had 3 lefties. And I mean, they were playing that outside line. It was like, especially what Ryan Simonelli did. I mean, it was like a revenge tour for him. I mean, last year he was on the Milwaukee Pounders. What'd he do? He takes out his old team and they run the step ladder. It's like, okay, it was incredible. I mean, and that double overtime. I mean, you talk about clutch. I mean, what Donnie Petraglia did, having Parker Bone III and Ryan Simonelli, it's like,
But I mean, Adam, not to interrupt you, but let's not forget Parker Bone's the one that sent him into the finals against the Lumberjacks with that clutch shot against strikers in that double elimination round. You know what I mean? So that was a phenomenal performance. I mean, Parker's just amazing. So I also want to get into the thing, and people have been talking about this with the PBA League. Should these count as titles for each of these individuals?
I saw that.
Now they haven't yet in the PBA League. They haven't counted as individual titles, but you think about it, especially with the individual formats they used to have, with that plus the team thing, there's a case to be made that these guys should all get credit for individual titles. You're bowling against, I mean, you have 50 of the, best bowlers on the planet bowling in this one event, and that's a hard field to get through. Do you then recognize those titles? And then if you do, all of a sudden a guy like Norm Duke goes from 39 to 42. That's a big difference, right?
Absolutely.
Ryan Simonelli gets 2 more titles. All of a sudden, I believe he's Hall of Fame eligible at that point.
Right.
So this could, this has a lot of implications on it. I know a lot of people were saying, because this year, basically, the most you would throw is basically 40 frames in this tournament, which is basically 4 games. Do you deserve a PBA title for only bowling 4 games? I mean, those are the arguments to be had. So I'm curious to see, Adam, how do you fall on this? Do you think that they should be awarding titles this year and in previous years to these guys in this tournament?
Well, I've seen this. I've seen this going on Facebook, and some say yes and some say no. For me, I think it's like a special event, so I would say no. I mean, to me, it's like, it's like it's kind of like exhibition. I mean, it's like, I know it's the bigger style and everything, but it's a special event, and to me, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah. Where do you fall on this? How do you feel?
And Adam brought up a good term, exhibition. Even though it might be a special event like that, exhibition, I'll tell you right now, those guys want to win.
Oh yeah, no question.
Here's the deal.
That's true.
Like the most frames you could throw is 40.
Right.
Throughout the week, right? Qualifying, in the playoffs, all the way to the finals, right? Now, do you think it's harder, especially for a bowler who bowls 50, 60, 70 games plus a week, to only bowl 4 games throughout that week to get a title,
So
rather than to get settled in and bowl over, like, let's say a normal 36 game week for a tournament. What is harder, do you think?
well, I don't know. I guess at this point, I would say my personal feeling is I don't think it should be a title. And here's the only reason I say this. And I believe Justin Knowles brought this up. Someone who I believe actually got snubbed this year, should have been on a team.
Yeah.
And I bet there's a few teams that didn't have a lefty that throws a purple hammer that really could have used the Justin Knowles this week. Just to be honest. You know what I mean?
You could say that about a lot of
Right.
stuff,
But
though.
so here's the thing. If you're going to award a title, you should limit it to just the top 50. Because guys like him, who were well within the top 50, within the top 30, and didn't get selected and didn't even get a chance to bowl in this tournament, you know, if you're going to award titles for the 50 bowlers that are there, it should be the top 50 in points. And then you can
I'll agree. I'll agree.
And you can still have the draft at that point, but at least then you're competing against just those top 50, and you don't have guys saying they got snubbed, this, that, and the other. You go by points. If someone can't bowl, then you can obviously pick outside the top 50 at that point, if you're going to award a title. That way, you know what I mean? Like, say someone was 10th in points, and that poor guy can't even bowl for the title. So that's the way I look at it. I say no title until maybe they change it to just top 50 in points.
Well, that kind of takes away from the whole draft thing, though, and you know as well as I do, having the BOPO draft there, a lot of the times you don't draft in the top of the average, depending on what kind of team you're trying to get together. If you want to get a team that gels together a little bit differently, or, you know, just if you're going out for a team for fun, you don't necessarily want to draft right off the top. You want to draft who you want to bowl with. So, you know, I mean, it might take away from that a little bit here on the PBA level, which, let's face it, these guys never get a chance to do this.
Right.
You know, I mean, this is the only time all year to bowl as a team, pretty much. Probably the only time they bowled Baker since college for.
And I mean, I love it. I mean, I love that the PBA league is probably my favorite thing they do all season.
Yeah.
I just fall on the side of, if it's going to count as a title, it should be the best of the best and not feel like there's guys that got left out, you know, in that. So, I mean, and the exhibition part of it, like Adam said, I think works great for that. It's fine. And we do have other exhibition PBA stuff that doesn't count for titles either. So I love the aspect of the league, and you can pick who you want. But I would say if you want to make it a title, limit it to the top 50.
Yeah, I'll agree.
And maybe you go, instead of being able to hold 3 players, you only get to hold 1.
I was actually thinking something else, guys. You have 2 different oil patterns, one on the left lane and one on the right lane. Make it even more challenging. I mean, you know the Mark Roth pattern, like the back 3 is like they're like the Johnny Pachaglia pattern or the Monticelli pattern, and see how they would do.
Yeah, but I'll put Anthony on one lane, Roth on the other, whatever.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's great. And Adam, who is your favorite team or a team that you follow all the time, or do you follow certain players more than teams?
You want sports wise or?
I'm just saying, like for the PBA league, like to start.
Of course. Well, of course, I gotta follow the Portland Lumberjacks. I mean, it's got. I mean, you have Kyle Troop, who used to live in North Carolina and now he lives in Kentucky. I've always been a fan of Tim Mack since he was a former linebacker at Penn State. Arturo Quintero. I mean, what can you say about him that hasn't been said? He's El Nino, and it's like, it's like. I always follow Packy Hanrahan. Unfortunately, he was on the team this year. But of course, Wes Malott, I mean, what can you say about Wes that hasn't been said? I mean, he was last year and then the year before, and then last year, I mean, he needed I believe it was 6 spins to win. And I mean, it's like, of course, I got to follow the Portland Lumberjacks. I mean, it's the hometown team. I'm from New England, so it's like I've got to follow my roots. All
right. Hey, so not to interrupt anything, but we have some breaking news coming into the show that one of our bowlers that bowls at Just in Time Recreation in Lewiston, a local center for us, is a 4-bagger away right now from breaking our state record for a 3-game series. So
Wow.
Jimmy Clark, Master Splinter, is there.
Yep.
He's
Yeah.
going to keep us updated. So we will bring you
Nice.
that live breaking information as it
Cool.
comes in.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
Very cool.
Cool.
So yeah, Portland Lumberjacks. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge Lumberjacks fan. Now, my future son-in-law is a Pounder, so right
Yes,
now I'm a Pounders
AJ, yeah.
fan. So we'll see what happens in the future. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the league next year. Who gets saved? Who gets? I'll tell you what. Graham Fa made a great case to get saved, and I talked to Hungus after the tournament, and he said the same thing. He goes, "Fa was amazing," and he basically put up a big red light that said, "You better save me, or you're in
Yeah.
trouble."
I'll agree with that. I mean,
Nino bowled great too. I mean,
He was awesome. El Nino bowled great. Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the two best on the Lumberjacks were El Nino and Graham Fa, and then Kyle Troop was great too. Those three, I mean, they were pretty nails.
If Shark found a look, you know, it could have been trouble.
Yeah,
Because you know, Wes, when he is there, you know, he's there.
Yeah.
And if put him in the tough situation, he was going to show up for sure. Unfortunately, Chris seemed like he couldn't find the look. But I got to tell you, Nino, I was super proud of him. Man, he made a couple really tough spares too. You know, those multi-pin spares, as you guys know, at home can be really, really difficult. Now you put them out on a PBA pattern, and then you put them out under the lights and under the judgment of Bayside Bowl and all of the bow powers yelling and screaming at you to make that spare. Man, he really did make some tough spares. I'm so proud of him. You know, man,
he was great. Yeah, he bowled great. Yeah.
And you know, that guy, like, it's just so cool when he strikes and he's cheering. Like, it's not just for the crowd. He is super excited and pumped. Like, he's back there, like, cheering. And I know because I've seen him. Oh, yeah. He puts the work in.
He does.
He's like 2 hours a day in that center and putting in the work. So let me tell you, El Nino, super proud of you. You're our hometown boy, and I'm going to stand behind you because I really
love him. We love him for sure. So, Adam, how are things down your way? And
fine.
The next few weeks here.
Everything's good here in North Carolina. The flights were good. Actually, I'll tell you guys a cool story. On my flight from Portland to Charlotte, Wes Malott and his wife Sarah were on there, and actually, I believe Wes was supposed to fly first class, and Wes and I exchanged seats, so Adam flew first class from Portland to Charlotte.
That's a great guy.
I was like, "You have to be kidding me!" I was like, I had no idea Wes was gonna be on my flight. Actually, going through TSA, I saw Eldonado Ruiz, I saw Mitch Hoope, I was like, since my plane left from Portland at 6 a.m., I had to get to the airport about 4:30 in the 4:30 in the morning. And I was like, I was completely shocked that Wes did that. I had no idea. It's like for all of us, it's like you look at other sports. It's very hard to get someone's autograph in, say, football or baseball. But in bowling, I mean, you can go up to Kyle Troop or Francois Lavoie or Andrew Anderson or Jason Belmonte, and they love signing, you know, taking pictures with us fans and signing bowling pins and bowling balls, and they love interacting with the crowd. And it's like, I wish other sports would look at the PBA tour. I mean, it's like, I never thought I would talk to Walter Williams Jr. like I have, or Marshall Holman or Pete Weber. I mean, it's like I said, I'm living a dream. It's like, it's incredible. You know, the PBA tour loves their fans. They love going to Bayside. And so I hope the PBA is called to me, the PBA League needs to stay at Bayside Bowl for life.
Yeah, you know, we're fans of that. Absolutely. I mean, obviously other centers and their hometown teams would probably feel a little different. They'd like to have it there, but I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing, you know, regional qualifiers for seating and stuff across maybe
Yeah,
4 or 5
yeah,
locations in the country, and then have the finals at Bayside or something. That'd be fine too.
Yeah.
Like
You
the
know, that way-
PBA LBC, like the PBA LBC Championship Clash, like they, it was sort of
That was
Boulder Wall, Wauwatosa, Milwaukee in the finals
Yeah.
for Bayside. I mean, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So we got some comments coming in. We had David Bray, Cleveland, checking in saying, "What percentage of fans you estimate were non-Bayside bowlers? There were many unfamiliar faces in the crowd." I'd say there was quite a few this year. Like,
there were.
there was a lot of people that traveled. We met some people from San Diego. We met some people from all over the place. So it was
England.
really cool.
There were people there from England.
Right.
There was a person, Simon, who is represents a 10-pin toolkit from England. He was there.
Yeah.
So I mean, you guys know I'm not afraid to travel from North Carolina to go up and see you guys in Maine. It's like I do it every year. All my friends and family know once a year. What does Adam do? He goes on a bowling vacation to Maine.
That's right. And we love having you up here, brother. That's for sure. So
Thank you.
Fans were up from Bowler X and
Bowler X, yeah, they were here. Yep.
Lee and Krista, yeah.
Robert Danzy says someone will always be left out, which is why, like we talked, that's getting back to the draft thing.
Yeah.
If you just go by top 50, if you're going to make it a title, no one can really make the case that they were left out. I mean, if it goes by 15 points,
Ask Brad Miller.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, at that point, the argument's over, right? I mean, if you're not top 15 points, you're not top 15 points, and you're not eligible to be drafted unless someone can't make it or gets injured, like the Bill O'Neill situation, and then someone has to replace him, something like that. But I would say, I mean, that kind of limits that someone being left out or snubbed type of thing, And I mean, that does add something to the draft. I mean, there's always someone who's going to get snubbed and stuff, who's going to get picked, who isn't. But I think you could get that drama back just by saying, well, you can only save one player.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it opens it wide open.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Any situation with saved players, though, what if those saved players are not in the top 50?
Right. So, I mean, that's the thing. If you know ahead of time, that maybe you can only save a player who is a top 50 player.
Oh, I like that.
That next season, so say, not saying he isn't going to be, but just
gotta step it up.
Right. So that's a little more incentive to make sure that you're at least eligible to be saved by your team.
Right.
So, I mean, there's all kinds of ways that they could kind of spin it and make it a little bit better, I think. But it's good right now, but it's always looking for ways to improve a product, right?
Oh, of course. And they're always changing it up a little bit, just like we do.
Just like the qualifying was different this year, so they'll probably do something next year.
Yeah.
I would like to see them bring back here for the PBA League the side tournaments. Like
yes.
I would love to see some side events while we're here again. I mean,
like the main shootout.
Doubles bowling. I bowled in the shootout and the doubles before.
So I'm just gonna say this, Frankie. Next year we're gonna have a second center just across the water.
We could do something over there.
Do some stuff over.
I'd go to Broadway Bowl for an event. I mean, it's only in South Portland.
Yeah, we'll have to chat up Pungus about that, maybe.
Delta Five says you guys should make the oil
talk about that too.
Well, to be fair, we bowled the Bopo Pro-Am.
Right.
And I heard from a number of different pros that it was a hell of a lot harder than what they were going on the Mark Rock, which is based upon one of our patterns.
Right.
So,
Craven told me, he goes, "You guys bowl in this every week?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like,
"Yeah, that's true."
Like, this is miserable.
Right. Yeah, I bowled with Sean Rash, and he was like, "This is terrible." He's like, we bowl on it's way easier than this.
It was fun. The Pro-Am was great. We love doing that. And
well, speaking of titles, so Dick was like, because I was on the winning team for the Bopo Pro-Am with Sean Rash.
There's the trophy right here, guys.
So
nice. Congratulations. Congratulations, Big Dog.
Nice. To you guys. And I was bowling with DDJ, right?
Yeah.
And DDJ said that it's a PBA title. I went with it. Right. We got a PBA title.
Right.
Nice.
There you go. Pro-Am title. You got it. Good job, man. That was fun.
It was a great time. Yeah. It was awesome. Bopo Pro-Am is unlike any other. And to see the pros bowl on what we bowl on every week, that we call our house shot, and they're like, this is horrible. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
So, Adam, we're just wrapping everything up a little bit here. We've had a great time with you this evening. Love having you on the show. why don't you take us home here real quick? Give a little plug out to your podcast.
Sure will. Sure will. Go to YouTube. Search Herb FM Sports Radio, and on Monday night you can join myself and Chris Heidel and Matt Trigonelli. We're going to preview Ohio State versus Maryland and Virginia Tech versus Florida State. We're also going to be talking about the Baltimore Orioles capturing the AL East title. So 7:30 on Monday night. Go to YouTube, search Herb FM Sports Radio, and subscribe to our channel. I really appreciate being with you guys tonight. And I can say that can it be 2024 so I can come on up again and hang with you
Well, I
guys?
was giving a shout out to last year's with my 2022.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Adam. When 2024 gets here, we promise that we will see you again at Bayside
Yes, you
Bowl.
will.
And,
With my bowling pin costume.
Yes, with your bowling pin costume, and we'll make sure that we get you on board with everything. Okay. So
Sure.
we really appreciate you joining us tonight on the Frankie and Ding Dong Show. Adam, you have a wonderful evening, and you take care, Mr. Superman.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, can't wait to see you next year, Adam.
Thanks, guys. And eat some lobster for me in the fall and winter. All right.
All right. Sounds good, buddy. Take care.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys.
All right. That was Adam Lemarice, PBA superfan. Good time having him on tonight. Good
Yeah,
show.
absolutely. Yeah, he was super excited to come on to the show when I talked to him. He was hoping that we'd be talking about a fourth lumberjack win. He wanted to bring up the word, there's a D word he wanted to bring up that's been associated with the Patriots before. But we can't quite go there yet, so I'm not even going to bring it up because there's definitely chances to win that fourth title.
You could call it the D word because 3 titles and then a runner-up the next year is
that's not too
that's
bad.
not bad.
No,
That's as good as it gets, man.
Yeah.
No one's ever won 3 in a row before.
Yeah.
To get there a 4th time was unprecedented. So, all right, breaking news coming in from Master Splinter.
Yeah, our own Colonel Sanders has gone 279, 296, has the front 9 in game 3 using the Obsession Tour Pearl with a short pin layout. He needs 2 strikes and 4 pins in the 10th frame here. That's where we're sitting. We got Master Splinter, breaking the news for us. He's watching this live.
Yep.
He might even be going live on Facebook.
He might.
Who the fuck knows?
Right.
Have 2 screens up. Listen to us. We're going to let you know. Splinter.
Malik Clark put it in the comments here, too, about the breaking news. So we got you covered wall to wall. We will find out from people that are there on site. As quick as you can get it.
I'm fucking excited.
I'm excited. Go get him, Colonel. Let's get it.
Tingling. Yeah, let's go.
So while we're waiting for that exciting news, some very somber news came in today, and we just wanted to make sure that we covered this with everyone. Rest in peace to Storm co-founder and CEO Bill Chrisman, definitely a legend and icon in the sport of bowling. Our sincerest condolences here at the Frankie and Ding Dong Show from myself, from King Ding Dong, to the whole Chrisman family. Everyone that's ever known Bill had nothing but nice things to say about him. The outpouring of emotion, the flood of stories that I was reading today, definitely, I mean, this man was a living legend. And now in the span of 2 years to lose 2 legends of the sport, between Mo Purnell and now Bill Chrisman, is just heartbreaking.
It is.
But we just want to give a moment of silence here for Bill Chrisman, Storm co-founder and CEO. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, and my heart pours out for my good friend Timmy Mack. Timmy and Bill. They've been close for a lot of years. So Timmy, we're behind you, my man. Reach out anytime, and we love you. I know you guys are going to do great things with that company and in his honor, and continue his legacy.
Yep.
And, you Storm fans out there, I'm sure that brand is not going away, neither the Roto or the 900 Global. You got Hank in there. There's a really great team in place for them. So But unfortunately, one of the big names,
It's
yeah,
unbelievable.
that's crazy.
So our sincerest condolences to the Crispin family and everyone that's known Bill over the years. So, wow, just a really somber day. But
yeah.
so
let's change gears here. Very sorry about that, but we have breaking news. A record has been broken here in the state of Maine. Shane McFarland, Colonel Sanders, our beloved Colonel Sanders, helps us out at Buller Builders Pro Shop. Just shot 300 the last game to shoot 875 at Just in Time Recreation in Lewiston, Maine. Maine state record has been broken by Shane McFarland.
there it is on your screen.
I gotta say, Shane is probably in our state the smoothest two-hander that we have produced in our state so far. Shane, he can trick the ball many ways. He bowls on a lot of different patterns. He's out there working on his game, and obviously that is paying off tonight in the Friday night beer drinkers league at Just in Time Recreation. The state record has been broken, Frankie. 875.
And not only did he break the state record with 875, he shot 300 the last game to do it.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. 279, 296, 300, shooting 23 of the last 24 to do it.
Yeah. Can you imagine going 11 in a row and then 6 count and then just cheating it after that because you're so pissed that you went 6 count in the last ball?
Right.
It's 300.
Unbelievable.
So
that is wild.
Cheat it.
Absolutely wild.
That's
Phil
fucking
Picard says, scratch? He goes, I had to beat Bill Green to it. LOL. That is unbelievable. Congratulations, Shane. That is like some just awesome shit, brother. Like, for real. So we got those comments. I put that up on all 3 of our feeds, the Twitch, the YouTube, and the Facebook. So the comments come across on all those. If you're watching on any of those, you will see my comment that I put goes across all streams. New Maine state record with 875. That is the high score shout out. There is nothing. I mean, there is nothing else. Right? That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy crap. Holy freaking crap. I wonder if there's any way we could get Shane on the show real quick, because I still have the link. We could invite someone in. You'd have to go through Messenger. I wonder if I could get him in for a little quick word about the state record.
Yeah, you can.
Let me see if I can
invite him. So I'm going to shift gears while you do that a little bit and talk about Just in Time. Now that the state record has been broken at Just in Time, I believe that this has something to do with our good friends Brad and Silas from Bowling Voodoo, who just did their magic there in Lewiston, Maine at Just in Time, leveling those lanes, working on the flat gutters, replacing the bad panels that were broken, delaminated, taking care of all that stuff, working with their house shop to work with head mechanic Josh, Sunny D, as you guys, friends of FDDS might know him by, and making improvements on that center. They've improved the lighting on one of the sides now. Now they've had Bowling Voodoo come in and level the lanes, replace all the bad panels, and obviously it's showing. They did flat gutters. They're making, the pins a little bit more lively by lining up those flat gutters, making the lanes actually playable, fair across the board. And it is showing. Shane took advantage of it tonight, and holy shit.
A ton of great shots. So I sent Shane an invite on Facebook Messenger. If anyone is Just in Time, please tell him to check his Facebook Messenger, and then he can get into the feed. And if he doesn't have access to it, let me know a bowler who does, and I will send them the link on Messenger, because I would love to get Shane on here to talk about that state record. So congratulations to Shane. We definitely want to move on a little bit after that. That's unbelievable. Like 875. I can't even believe it.
Yeah.
Let's preview the Carl's World Tour season. That was one of the things we want to talk about tonight. 2023-2024 Carl's World Tour season starts this Sunday at Bayside Bowl, October 1st, 9:00 a.m. The Chichen Itza Open. So what a great name for a tournament.
Yeah.
Because they're bowling on the 40-foot Chichen Itza oil pattern. So $1,000 to the winner here at Bayside Bowl, our huge. Here is the oil pattern we are using. It is on your screen now. 40-foot oil pattern, kind of a medium volume pattern, nothing too crazy and wild. So,
right?
yeah, 24-inch mills, and it, it's a 3.09 to 1 ratio, so playable, sport compliant, but still, I think it's
sport compliant.
Yeah, just over 3.09. So I mean, even the old one was 3.0, which I mean, we always err on the side of caution.
Yeah, it's soft for if you consider it to ours, but hey, that's why we have the 2 series. Carl's series is still going to be a challenge, man. I'm telling you, if it's at 3 to 1, it's still a challenge. It might not be the Frankie and Ding Dong real hard shot out there, but you better still bring your game. And, with the field of bowlers that we have out there, you're really going to need to bring your game, because these bowlers this year, they're going to be hungry. They're going to want to get into that TOC. We had our first TOC of the year. We're going to have more bowlers show up for next year's TOC, and there's going to be new champions, and those champions want to get in there. So I can't wait. This starts a long season. Starts right now on Sunday. Check-in probably starts around 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock check-in.
Between 8 and 8:30. Lane assignments are up on the Carl's World Tour page. It's $80, right? Is that
$80 is the cost? Yep.
And get checked in. We're gonna probably get 3 balls per lane of practice, and then 4 games of qualifying across the 2 sides of the house, and then we'll bring it to some match play.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
top 16, the usual match play. Take your average, basically. So if someone averages 220, the ball someone with a 190, they get 30 pins the first round. Then after that, it's all scratch. So gives the higher seeds a little bit of an advantage. Our tournament series is coming at you in a couple weeks from that. On October 15th, we'll have our first tournament of the season, but ours will be a little different. We're kind of going like kind of old school MIST format. We're going to be doing eliminator rounds and then step ladder final, stuff like that. So just to be different, something different experience for the bowlers. So something different than just straight match play, which is what we do in the Carls, which is awesome. But, kind of gives people a couple different things to shoot for, during the season. So
absolutely.
Last season, let's see, Delpa Card says, I have to come up with something for the 2 lanes here when you guys come to town. You better come up with something good, brother. I'll tell you. You want us to send you some oil patterns suggestions for the house? Literally, here's your house pattern. Literally at your house.
But so you got to change it up, though. You can't. Your house pattern cannot be complacent. You got to change it every few months. And
just don't shut out the left, though. That's all I ask. Just don't shut the left out. I think it's gonna be a good season. I mean, I'm guarantee we'll sell out every event. Making that top, 24 in points is a big deal.
Huge.
Because then you qualify for that major, which is the Carl's basically bowl of the year event, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It was the King of the Jungle when it was the Safari Tour, and now it's I don't know, is it King of the World when it's the World Tour?
Carmen San Diego.
Carmen San Diego. We should get like a Carmen San Diego trophy to give whoever wins it. So, but yeah, so I think it'll be a fun season. I think if we're sticking with these landmark series type patterns, it should be maybe a little higher scoring than last year. It's going to be hard to say. We'll see what happens with the first tournament, and kind of go from there. 40-foot at Bayside is kind of in that iffy zone where it starts to get a little weird. So, who knows? If the gutter plays, then it's going to be higher scoring. If for some reason the gutter doesn't, then you're going to see some scores not as high.
Well, I mean, Hungus might be easing us in, too, with the 3.0.
That's true. That's true.
You never know. There's so many patterns out there that he might be starting a little softer, and then he's going to, ramp it up. Who knows? Or maybe he'll just let us, have the hard stuff. He'll have the, again, it's not soft. This is 3.09 to 1. This is not your house shot. But it is definitely a little bit softer than what we usually put out, and softer than what we're bowling on draft right now.
Right. 177. Yeah, that's a tough one. So,
yeah.
Delpa Car says he wishes he lived closer to us. Man, your bowlers are lucky. We just try to put out quality events that people are going to show up for. We have a series like the Carls that's cost a little bit more money. Obviously, bowling for a little bit more prize money too. But you got ours that's just a little bit more. Oh, hold on! Breaking news. Right there he is. Breaking news. There's the man right there. Shane McFarland, state record holder. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us your emotions going into that last game, having a shot at the state record. You shoot 300, which is unbelievable. what was going through your head that entire third game?
One shot at a time. Because I went 296 in game 2, and that kind of just frustrated me not being able to clutch up in the last ball of the 10th. I think I rushed myself. I pulled it a ton, and now when I stepped up in the third game to finish it out, I just wanted to make sure I gave it one good, legitimate run at shooting 300 tonight.
So you were on which pair of lanes tonight, Shane, when you were bowling on?
3 and 4.
3 and 4. Now, that is the second time a state record has been broken in that center. 858, I think, was originally set in that center when John Votto shot it. You have now shattered the state record that was held by, I want to say it was Justin Davis that had it. So congratulations, 875. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Thank you, Frankie. Thank you, Ding Dong.
I can't think of a better person to get it. You obviously have a nice tournament series there yourself with the Dirty Lou Derby, which we will both be bowling in next month. And, super pumped for things that you have going on. And, it's great for the center. Did you notice a difference with the lane leveling that they did? Did you notice any difference in pin carry tonight?
Not necessarily pin carry. Obviously, I got the good hits when they came. Got a lot of breaks and followed through with the rest of the game plan. But other than that, the gutters actually hooked tonight. Past couple weeks, they didn't really move much. If you got it out there, it kind of just float out there, not hitting the head pin, come in light, leave a split, something like that. But tonight, I definitely noticed the difference. When you got it out towards the gutter, it came back.
All right, excellent. We are so pumped to have you on the show, Shane. Colonel Sanders, obviously, you'll be at the tournament on Sunday, and we will definitely be making an announcement on Sunday about you now being the state record holder. 875 is going to be a tough one to beat, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's striking a ton, man.
Yeah.
What's that? 2 shots all night that you didn't strike.
Is that it? Just 2 shots all night you didn't strike? Is that true?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal to think about it.
34 out of 36, man. So, hey, congratulations, Colonel Sanders. I know you want to go celebrate with your friends and everything at the center. We appreciate you taking a couple minutes time to join us here on the show live. Congratulations, and I can't wait to give you a big hug on Sunday and congratulate you in person.
Thank you, James.
All right. Thanks a lot, Shane. Well, you enjoy the rest of the evening, and you tell everyone we said hi from the Frankie and Ding Dong Show.
All right, I will do.
All right. Take care, brother.
You too. Bye, Frankie. Bye, Ding Dong.
Take care.
Take care. Yeah, that's
how cool was that? We got the state record holder right after he shot it.
The one thing we didn't ask is, so he had 1-9 count. I wonder what he left. Wonder if it was 10 pin.
That's true. Yeah, we'll have to ask. And I'd be curious what he left on the 296. What did he leave for?
Well, he said he tugged it, so
maybe a Durban, something like that. That would make sense. Yeah.
Wow.
875. I can't even. It blows my mind. I mean, I've shot
but he
a bunch of 800s, but nothing close to that.
He carried.
But it did. He set the gutter for hooking, which makes sense because if you had a little dip, maybe they're.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And if they're tweaking the pattern, which I know they are, and they were going to tweak it again because we had talked to Brad and Silas about it, and they were not using a lot of oil in the lane, so the pattern that they changed it to actually upped the amount of oil by 20% on the lane. So that's going to help. And just, their knowledge of it, they were probably able to get the strip a little bit better. Getting the lanes leveled probably helped the stripper along to adhere to the lanes to get them stripped in the back end. Obviously Shane saw a difference. He must have had this room, as long as he didn't tug it. It sounds like he was fine. He's so good at execution. Like I was saying, he's probably definitely our smoothest two-hander we have here in the state.
He's so good.
Tricks the ball great. Again, bowls on a bunch of different stuff, and that's what you guys need to do. If you want to get better, you need to bowl on a bunch of different stuff, and it has to be the hard shit. You can't be bowling on fucking China and expect to get better. No. You bowl in the China, and probably it's just going to lead to bad habits if you just only bowl on that, especially if you're only bowling in one center. Think about this, Frankie. Let's say you only bowl in one center 2-3 nights a week. It's always on the same house shot. You're going to
develop tendencies for that shot.
Yeah, you're going to make compensations to your game so that way you can strike on that shot. But is that going to help you when you go and bowl someplace else? Probably fucking not.
Probably not.
You need to find within yourself, you need to find a game that's going to work across a bunch of different shots. And if once you find a game that's a little bit more manageable across those shots, I guarantee you will find the shot that matches up to you, and you will be in our TOC just like the rest of us that were in there. And man, that was a fun time.
It was.
I can't wait to add a lot more competitors to that.
Yeah, we got 17 tournaments this year to add possibly 17 new champions. You know, and we got that doesn't even include the non-champs event that we're going to add at the end of the season, which will be fun. So, 292 average for the night. That's massive. Like, it just blows your mind. It's crazy.
Yeah,
so great. That's awesome.
Shots
I'm so glad he did it on a night that we're live. Like, that's great. Congratulations, Shane. That's awesome. It all worked out.
Did it, you know.
Yeah, good things happen to good people. So that's just goes right there to show it.
So short pin obsession tour.
That's great.
I mean, great. That's a great core. And if you guys like that core, you can get it still in the Envy tour.
You can
that
get
just came out in a
tour. Yeah, get that. So. All right, so we also want to thank Brunswick Bowling, who's going to be providing the Infinity, which is right here next to King Ding Dong, the Infinity bowling ball for the KWT Chichen Itza 40-foot tournament this weekend. We'll have tickets at the raffle tickets at the check-in table. You don't have to bowl to get tickets. You can just be there hanging out, watching bowling. Doesn't matter. You're just there. Get yourself a $225 bowling ball for possibly just $5. So you can get as many tickets as you want. We love giving tickets away for this stuff, so it's a good time.
Definitely has that big B feel and look to it, you know, that superhero big B feel.
It does.
Infinity. You'll definitely want to add that to your bag. So jump in, buy tickets. You don't even have to be bowling. All you have to do is be present, which means you could be sitting back, eating food, drinking beer, and watching bowling. And walking around the bowling ball.
It's a hybrid bowling ball, AXH hybrid cover activator extreme hook is what it's called.
Yeah, it's got this sweet mica flake in the cover too, Frankie.
Is it a asymmetric there, Ding Dong, or is it just a symmetric, or is it a low?
It does have a PSA.
Because I'm looking at the RG's 2521 diff with 051, so a decent diff, but 010 intermediate diff. So
low intermediate.
So a good, a good
big diff. So
that'd be a fun ball to use actually. So I think I definitely want to get in there and thank you to Brunswick Bowling and thank you to Bowler Builders Pro Shops who are offering free drilling of that ball for all of the balls won this season. So thank you to Bowler Builders where we both work. So
absolutely. Master Splinter, Jimmy Clark. Come see him. Come see Frankie. Come see myself and see our PWBA superstar nut sauce, Mallory Clark. We'll hook you up, balls, bags, shoes, whatever you need.
Jared Roseboom had a question. It's a good question, but I'm going to answer it real quick. Sorry if I missed it, but did Hungus get a Kegel machine now that we are bowling on a Kegel pattern Sunday? We don't, but we do have an Envoy Plus, which allows us to actually, Greg is able to work with the people at Kegel to get the patterns pretty close. I mean, it's a lot easier. Yeah, a lot easier. The Envoy Plus is basically our new machine that actually I believe came over from Broadway.
It did.
So the other Envoy is now, I believe, over at Broadway. We have the Envoy Plus here, which was actually the machine they used for the PBA league because the PBA didn't send out their oil man or their oil machine. So
unfortunately, he's having health problems.
He is, but you would think the PBA would have more than one lane guy available to get a machine out here and work.
They want to take away his job to get someone else, which I can respect.
But you know what? We had Greg, Greg killed it. Right? I mean, the mad scientist. You can't ask for anyone better. Greg, you're the man. As always, we love you. So Greg did a great job this week.
Here, behind the scenes, this is how good Greg is. Behind the scenes, they were bowling on Mark Roth, right? Yeah. The guys were complaining that the heads were breaking down quick. Because let's face it, we bowl in Maine. Mark Roth is a Kegel pattern. There's no reverse oil in the Brunswick machines, right? Up in the Northeast, we have more fucking friction in the heads. So the guys were like, "Oh yeah, the heads are breaking down quick." And Greg was able to go in the Envoy Plus. He upped the percentage of oil in the heads 5%. Right. Boom. Never had to complain for the rest of the week. So, a little early complaint early in the week.
Yeah.
Fixed.
Jared says, thanks, Frankie. No problem, brother. Looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. You qualified last year for that top 24 tournament at the end of the season. Yeah. You had a good year last year in the World Tour Series. So,
no big surprise.
So we also want to touch on our sponsorship packages. We've been working hard on this. We have Frankie and Ding Dong Show sponsorship packages for your business, individuals that want to sponsor the program or our tournament series, whatever you want to do. Please send us your email and we will get those to you via email. There's single tournament packages if you want to sponsor. There's multi-tournament package, season-long packages, you name it.
Major
packages, GoPro packages. We're going to have a whole bunch of different flavor for whatever you want. If your business is looking to get some advertising out there for yourself, definitely get in touch with us. We're talking about live spots on our weekly show. We're talking about your product placement on all of our streams, talking about your product. I mean, guest appearances, you name it, all kinds of stuff that could help your business grow. And, stuff on our social media pages, stuff like that. So definitely we're always in the market to make our product better. If you watched our last stream, we had a 3-camera feed going. Yep. Stuff like that only happens if we can get sponsors who want to help us make that product better, and we want to make it better for the bowlers. We take a lot of our time out and just, we don't mind volunteering our time. That's totally fine. But, if we can get better equipment for a better product for you guys, it's a win-win situation, right?
Absolutely.
So, we're trying to make it bigger and better. The Mad Scientist is working on some really cool stuff for us at Bayside, as far as not having to rely on certain connections and just hardwiring things in, and that'll make it so much easier for us.
Yeah.
So, but if you know a business out there that's looking to put some money on the table, send us an email to thefrankieanddingdongshow@gmail.com. Again, thefrankieanddingdongshow@gmail.com. And definitely we'll get you all the information on those sponsorship packages. So
yeah. For sure. Yeah. And we've had a couple parties interested in already. Those packages will be going out soon once we get them all finalized.
Yep. But if you're interested, send us an email and we'll get that off to you, or whatever business you would like us to get it to as soon as possible.
Yeah. And again, with the Mad Scientist in our corner, I really think we could grow this easily. We just need you to help us out to do this this point.
Yep.
And honestly, some of the money is going to go back to the bowlers. Probably.
Yep.
We're thinking half of the money go back to the bowlers, half go back into production, and to try to bring you guys a better product. We already know, I love the PBA and Bowl TV and all of that, but we already know that there's better products out there available. Mm-hmm. And we're good friends with people who do make better products out there. And he's in our corner real hard, and
for sure.
He's willing to help us out.
Giving us a lot of good information already. So
we think we can make probably a better product than that's out there right now.
I think so. And if we on our little corner here in Maine, we would love to get it up on, so people be watching it like when they watch like inside bowling type stuff or whatever it is. Like, like this weekend they're covering the doubles tournament in Springfield, Illinois. Stuff like that. We could even do stuff like that remotely and hook into someone else's stuff and start working even some other events when we don't have tournaments going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's all kinds of possibilities, but that's only possible if we have good sponsors that want to, kind of back our program. And we think we offer something different. We give you a very honest perspective. We're unfiltered. So we pretty much say what's on our mind. As you can see, stuff on the walls, pre-barometer testing. And you know how I feel about certain things. It's not a secret. So, and that's kind of the flavor we bring. And, we think that appeals to a pretty wide audience who might not like just PC all the time. So, and we're here for the bowlers, man. Like we said, if we get sponsorship money, part's going to go into the prize fund, part's going to go into production. It's not going in our pockets. It's literally going back into the product and back to the bowlers. So, exactly. That's basically how we roll. So, if that happens, then cool. If we can get some good sponsors, heck, I'll tell you what, if someone we have our Hall of Fame now, if I get a wonderful sponsor that wants to put their name on our Hall of Fame, I'm in for that too. You know what I mean? Because guess what? Then that cost of the Hall of Fame, we can get some really cool stuff. We got that whole wall at Bayside. I'd like to add stuff up there, some different photos, some different things up there of our bowlers, action shots, you name it. I can do all kinds of stuff. Just get the sponsorship money into it.
Yeah, and here's the deal. We already know that bowlers love watching bowling at Bayside Bowl.
Yep.
So, all we need to do is, real quick, if we
the most iconic center in the country, if not the world at this point.
People are going to love watching that live action. And man, we have 17 tournaments left.
Yeah,
and that's not even counting all the BOPO tournaments.
Right, when we cover all the BOPO stuff. So if you're getting us for sponsorship, you might be saying, you know what, my business is more geared towards just the Portland crowd. Guess what? We
Yeah.
cover all the boat pole events.
Yeah,
we cover all of it. You name it. The king shit, queen shit, 2v2. We got it all. So if you want, right,
the draft.
The draft. I mean, you name it. We cover such a wide variety of things in that center. We cover wall-to-wall action, and we would love to bring you as much as possible and make a better product. And that's what it's all about. So thank you to everyone. We love our sponsors we have now: Brunswick Bowling, Bowler Builders Pro Shops. Bayside Bowl stepped up and sponsored the COC. We love our sponsors, and we love that they're on board again this season. But the more we can add, the better. You know what?
Yep.
If you do want to do a single tournament package and have your name on that tournament, we can make that happen.
Yeah.
You know,
if you want to send product and have that right on screen, we'll make that happen too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you know, if to say, whatever your business is, who cares? The Gorham Savings Bank, it could be like the Gorham Savings Bank one ball brawl. Or, you know what I mean? Whatever. I mean, we can make whatever happen. It's fine. We just need to talk and have that conversation. So,
yeah.
So that's basically it.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Can't wait. So it's coming up.
Speaking of balls, we got
some
new balls.
That's a good segue. New releases coming October 19th from the brands of Brunswick. The Brunswick Perfect Mindset and the Brunswick Ethos. We do not have either of those here. But Master Splinter drilled both of those.
Yeah.
And they look phenomenal. That Ethos, I'll tell you what, was a very good looking ball. The DV8 Verge Hybrid is the perfect ball for this time of year. Why? Because it's Halloween.
It is, yeah.
And that ball is a really sweet looking, almost like an orange, a little bit of purple in it. It's a little bit of.
Was it the Misfit that kind of looked like that? Is that the one that was called?
Something like it was.
Vandal.
No,
was it Vandal?
It was the Vandal. I think it was a Misfit though. I think it was Misfit with orange and blue.
Yeah.
I had them actually, but I don't remember. It's a long time ago now.
Yeah.
So that's a Verge Hybrid, and I know our boy Tommy Guns has already got one on pre-order. I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely.
And the ones we do have here, the three that we do have here are right here. The Track Sensor Solid, building upon the phenomenal. The first one was a Pearl, correct?
Yes, it was.
The Sensor Pearl.
Oh.
Yeah. So, anyways, this one does or does not have the HK22.
It does not.
No HK22 additive, and it did not have the HK22 additive in the original sensor. It might have been a 21A. We don't know. That ball was pretty vibrant for a ball without HK22.
Yes.
You love that ball a lot, and you got a chance to throw this today. What do you think of this one compared to the original?
Are there hearts in my eyes, Frankie?
Well, the ball is red. So.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about that sensor core, man. It does not get any better than that. The Sensor Solid, a lot stronger than the original sensor. Obviously, that solid cover digs right into the mid lane. But I've got to tell you, it's controllable, it's predictable, it's that sensor core. If you want a strong version of your sensor and you love your sensor, man, this thing is money. Love it. I mean, I should probably have 4 balls of pin-up.
This thing here gives me like OG Critical Mass Code Red vibes.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So, I fell in love with purple and red ball balls when the original Critical Mass came out, followed by the Code Red.
Yeah.
Those 2 balls were the shit.
Those
They
balls
stole the shit.
I think the Code Red was even better than the original Critical Mass. That's my opinion.
Totally way better. Yeah. So, the reaction is a little bit different than those.
Yeah, of course, obviously.
But I got to tell you, this Sensor Solid was fucking massive.
Nice.
It just one of those balls that looks big, but very controllable.
Yep.
And not like pukey, very continuous because that lower diff, the 036 diff definitely gets it to continue through the pins. Absolutely blasting out racks. Look great. I can't wait to use it all the fucking time. The Sensor Solid, I'm going to use it a lot. I like it. Yeah. I did drilled the Fireball too.
Fireball.
Yeah. Aiken was pretty high on shooting that one, I think. So.
Yeah. Fireball really strong in the back. Very
More skid flippy, I'm guessing, type of ball reaction.
Yeah, very sideways in the back. Probably in between this ball and my Sensor Pearl, the original sensor.
Yeah.
But definitely a lot sharper in the back. Not quite as a little bit stronger, let's say, than the Tundra Fire.
Yeah. Okay.
But that
All right, makes sense.
that same type of shape.
Yeah, Tundra Fire maybe a little cleaner than the Fireball, you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
Yes.
sense.
Cleaner and not.
A little
Not
higher
quite as
RG
much
on
in
the
the back.
Tundra, I think.
Yeah.
than the
Yeah.
Fireball.
The Fire has a little bit more in the back.
Yep.
A little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So like if you're looking to set up an arsenal and you love Sims and you want
Yeah.
stuff in the lower end of Sims, you don't want a big ball.
Right.
Let's say you have a slower
Yeah,
ball speed.
yeah, slower ball speed, or yeah.
You know,
Makes
you
sense.
can go sensor solid, Fireball, sensor, Tundra Fire, right
Okay, there you go.
It's
There you go. You heard it right there.
strongest,
Ding dong.
weakest. Yeah.
Perfect. I like it. So then we also have the Radical Hitter, which is right here.
Damn, that ball looks good.
I'll tell you what. So just give me the skinny on that ball real quick. It is a asymmetric, solid. Has a new cover stock, the Utility Solid. Very interested about this one.
Only used on that core. That's the only
That's it.
ball it's on.
Yeah, that's it. So, the Hitter asymmetric cores, what's in it? The numbers on it, a little lower RG, 2488. I'm digging that. 053 diff, so big differential, but an 015 ASIM. So, intermediate diff, not bad. It's a kind of a, so it's not too sideways wonky type of intermediate, which is probably good for me because as you know, I am not a huge fan of some big asymmetrics, and I just don't use them that much.
Right.
But my favorite Radical ball of all time is an asymmetric. It's the Black Conspiracy. So I'm thinking
I think John Wilbur would agree.
yeah, and maybe a 900, but it doesn't hurt. So I'm hoping, and I think I may drill. I thought I was going to drill this the same layout as my one remix, but I think I've changed my mind. I'm going to drill it the same layout as my Black Conspiracy, just so I can get a true test of is this ball going to be as good as my favorite Radical ball of all time. And my second favorite Radical ball of all time is also an asymmetric, which was the Conspiracy Pearl.
Yeah. Remember that Cyclops though?
Because remember, the Cyclops was great. That was another one of my favorites. My favorite symmetric Radical ball of all time. But that Conspiracy Pearl, I shot 300 like 3 days apart. Remember that? It was like bang, 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 bang.
That Conspiracy Pearl was money. Yeah. So
You had one of those too.
Oh yeah.
So anyways, really looking forward to the Hitter coming out again October 19th. And the one that I was really excited about because all of a sudden I have rediscovered my love for the original Rattler with rattling off 3 straight 700s with it.
Yeah.
The Deadly Rattler, Pearl version of the original Rattler, HK22 cover stock on it. Rattler symmetric core, same core as in the original Rattler. 2480 RG, which is probably why I like it. It's a little bit lower RG. It's not sometimes the super high RG symmetrics get a little weird for me.
Yeah, they squirt in a sense.
Yeah. 035 diff, perfect ballpark for your, benchmark symmetric.
Yeah.
And this thing stinks. Like,
Don't
not
take
a bad
your
way.
eyes off of it because I'm gonna
It's-
put holes in it
dude.
if you do.
But it's funny. You feel these too. They kind of, this is a solid, but it's got that.
Right, it's a solid.
Yeah.
So,
But it still has that nice
It's- 2 red balls. They might
red, purple.
They'll look good together in my bag.
2-year
Don't take
warranty
your
on
eyes
these
off.
too, by the way. So that's another good thing about these. 2-year warranty on these balls. So
Yeah,
the Hitter, same thing. 2-year warranty on this. So
they all have
they all do. Yeah.
dynamic core.
dynamic core and
Yeah,
all of them.
all of them.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I'm really excited about it. And I want to say that Hitter, which is price point wise, is not as expensive. I want to say it's in that kind of Black Widow territory when it comes
Oh,
to
is
price.
it?
I believe
Not like outer
because it's in the reliable, what's called the reliable level of
Oh,
price
okay.
point. So as opposed to let's say let's look at Katana. Let's say Katana Strike, which is our other big one. That one is in top shelf.
Yeah.
So this is going to be that next level down, which is great because you can get it at a little bit lower price, but still get premium performance, which is what you're looking for the most bang for your buck. This one here is going to be, I think it's going to surprise people. You're going to see a lot of guys on tour, I think, using a ball like this. So.
Do you think it's more like going to be a solid-ish version of your Outer Limits in that neighborhood?
I'm at Outer Limits, shot $299 with that. Up at the state tournament. That ball's been pretty good. I'm actually thinking about whacking that with a pad to just knock the polish off, bringing it Sunday to the tournament with me on the Cheech and Itza pattern. But yeah, because that ball's, that one for a pearl is kind of rolly. Like it's not quite as skid flippy as I thought it might be.
Yeah.
So maybe this will be kind of in that same realm. I'm definitely going pin down on this. I like pin down layouts a lot on my ASIMs. My one remix was probably my favorite ASIM I drilled last year. That was 5 inch pin down. Yeah. So, my Sims, I tend to go. It's funny. I like longer pins, pin up, shorter pins, pin down. It's weird that way, and it's just the way things work when you throw bowling balls for a long time. You just kind of figure out what works. So, so we'll see what happens with it. But I'm really excited. Like this one, I was the most excited about. But the more I'm kind of really warming up to this hitter. I'm really hoping that takes that Black Conspiracy spot in my bag. Because if it does, I will drill more than one. There is no doubt.
Yeah, and I tell you right now, if you guys haven't seen the core in that hitter yet,
it's cool.
Look it up.
It's cool. Yeah, I love it. So
awesome, man.
I know we've kind of been going long tonight. We're almost at an hour and 15 minutes. The only thing we got left to touch on tomorrow. You start the SMUSBC Youth League at Bayside Bowl in Portland, 10 o'clock a.m. Right?
Doors open at 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll get you in there, get you signed up, and get you started. We will, if there's enough of interest out there, we'll even have a bumper program because we have the bumpers available at Bayside. The bumper buddies will probably only bowl 2 games, but any other bowler, it's 3 games of bowling. It's only $12 per week to participate, and you can do it as a drop-in. We're going to have 3 8-week sessions.
Yep.
So even if you play like a winter sport, a spring sport, something like that, you can still definitely come in and bowl and don't feel like you're missing out on too much of the season. Or if you can just make it here and there. Man, come on in and, again, $12 a week, 3 games of bowling included. There's a one-time a season $10 sanction fee. That covers your USBC sanctioning with the national body. You'd be able to bowl in any USBC tournament. And you guys out there are going to be several junior tournaments here in the state of Maine, between the Maine State Junior Travel Tournament and the Maine State Junior Gold Tournament. So you don't even have to head out of state to find tournaments as a youth nowadays. If you are interested in heading out of state, hey, there's plenty of that too. I know DJBT is having a major this weekend in Chicopee.
Oh yeah, right.
So there's plenty of bowling out there for youth. Take advantage of it, guys. You as a youth can make your own scholarship money and use that when you go to further your education.
Absolutely. Well said. And definitely take advantage of that tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock a.m. Get to Bayside Bowl. Let your kids experience it. Hey, if it's the first time they've ever been in a youth league or thinking about trying a youth league, give it a shot. See how it is. Even if you just do the 1 8-week session, you don't have to, commit to 24 weeks if you don't want. You can just do 1 session if you want. See how it goes. And I bet your kids will fall in love with it. And, you'll find some new fans out there for life. So,
I'm excited because it looks like we're gonna have Charlie and Arturo's sons.
That's awesome. That'll be fun. So that'll be great. So definitely get your kids in the center, as you always say, and this is the perfect opportunity to do so. So,
can't wait to
I know it's gonna be fun. So we've covered a lot tonight. It's been a fun show. Somber at times. Talking about the passing of Bill Chrisman, legend of the sport, and for Storm Bowling, and guys said it perfectly earlier today. Like today, we are all Team Storm, and I think that's echoed by everyone across the world right now. What Bill and his wife were able to create with that company is phenomenal, and and I know they're in good hands with other people that they have put in place. So that's
you got to figure because Storm is a bowling product company. Brunswick, huge company, but they started with their billiards and all sorts of other things.
Even boats, you name it. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff.
Storm is a bowling company, so what they did is pretty unique.
It is, and
it spawned a few other companies.
Years for sure. So, again, condolences to the entire family and everyone that's known Bill. So, we just definitely wanted to cover that tonight on the show. But thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm sure we'll have another live show next week for you, except King Ding Dong won't be here. He'll be down in Florida.
Yes, I will be.
So maybe I can remote you in. You'll probably be on a roller coaster somewhere, so maybe we won't be able to catch you. But I'm so jealous you get to go this year. I've been a few times and I love it. So it's my favorite thing. My favorite
party.
It totally is. Yeah. There's nothing that compares to it. It ruins everything else, really.
It really does. Yeah.
But it's so fun. But I do like some of the local stuff too. Like we like the Nightmare on the Bridge stuff, and that's fun. But there's nothing. The Canopy one was great. It's a Fright Night, whatever that was.
That was pretty good.
That was good.
Again, it's not
Universal. No, they do it right. So have fun down there next week, King Ding Dong, and maybe I'll have someone else come in as a special guest next week. You never know who's going to show up on the show. So anyways, we'll see everyone. Next time you see us, we'll be on the live stream Sunday. Hopefully you don't see us. That means we're still bowling, and we'll have some guest commentators. But if you do, then we'll try not to be too salty. Well, after I missed the cut, first man out at the TOC, just quick story. I get on the mic with Night Sauce, who did a great job.
Yeah.
And she goes, Frankie, do you want to take over? And I go, just give me 5 minutes.
Right.
Give me 5 minutes. I'm going to go. I need, chop the spare.
Let me go to Preble Street.
Right. Me and AJ Johnson going to Preble Street, hanging out together. The Preble Street Brawler, our boy. So told him about his nickname. I talked to him about it at the pro-am. He was totally fine with it. He's cool. So that was fun. So
because I talked to him about it.
So anyways, we're just going off in tangents now. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. We'll see you Sunday at Bayside Bowl for the Carl's World Tour, first tournament of the season, the Chichen Itza 40-foot open. So for King Ding Dong, I am Frankie Avalon. Thank you for tuning in. And as always,